I was listening a debate on Indian economy, and the debate was focused basically how to stimulate the economy in a way so that the slowdown gets improved. So there were differences, there were suggestions, there were analytics, but there were certain very constructive points, and I must admit that the economy needs certain proactive measures which can create a demand load on the economy, or rather, which can increase the demand in the economy, demand for house, demand for electronics, consumables, demand for lifestyle things, demand for all kind of things. So actually, B2C demands needs impetus because B2B demand is based on B2C demand, and B2C demand is based on C and D, consumer and demand and paying capability. So in the last, the entire thing comes rather hinges on consumer led demand. Supply side ecosystem, whatever we do, has certain constraints, limitations, and it cannot be taken as a exact answer to the problem because it has certain constraints. Ease of doing business, ease of getting credit, ease of investment, ease of sustainability, etc., are good things, and they must be ensured to the maximum. But real issue lies how to how to how to how to increase the buying capacity of the consumers of India in all sectors. Their automobile, real estate, any. So there was one very beautiful commentator saying that the government of India, instead of reducing the corporate tax, should have tried to reduce the income tax. By reduction of income tax, uh, commensurate liquidity could have come into the market, and it would have backed the demand, converting into purchase. So demand being converted into purchase is the issue. How there are demands because demands are requirements, ambitions, aspirations, aspirational demand, necessity demand, you know, social demands, seasonal demands, and festival demands. There are demands. Demands are not, very simple. It has a complex ecosystem. Children's demands are different. Youth demands are different. Old people's demands are different. And then sector-wise, maybe pharmaceutical demand is different. Healthcare demand is different, etc., etc. So demand is okay, only when there is a support to the demand, I have the purchasing power to actualize my demand. And it is this sector which has a very strong correlation with the business doing community, because B2C is the issue, but B2C invariably increases B2B dynamics. And because there is a reduction of business, B2C business, so it has actually reduced B2B business. And B2B business, in fact, it's a ripple effect kind of thing, because B2B, B2C, G2B, G means government, and G2C, C2G, C2B, all these situations actually impact each other. So we have to understand how to start. Where is the arrow of slowdown? Arrow of slowdown is with the consumers. Tail is the supply side. If we push from tail, when there is a headwind, we may not succeed. If there is a headwind, if we reduce the friction of the headwind, or rather make it favorable, then the entire thing goes very smoothly. So it is where we have to activate our entire system of things. So where to infuse the money in the hand of consumers? One option is that government expenditure in terms of infrastructure, in terms of social security schemes, but it has certain constraints. Then money will come from where? I think as a citizen of India, we are obliged to think in national perspective. Everywhere expecting government to come to the rescue of the country is something which actually doesn't go well without patriotism. So social obligations, our personal and social obligation to the country is also very relevant in the growth of country. So government skilling unskilled, fine. Government giving you financial assistance for housing, fine. Government giving you credit at subsidized rates, fine. But as a citizen of the country, as a member of society or society as a whole, if society, there is societal understanding how to do social financing, social skilling, society-led skilling, reduction of the aberrations in the government can save the money. I mean, if the government is spending maybe 1 crore for rural road development, why not villagers should come and contribute some labor cost into that? Everybody does a Shramdan and reduces the cost on the government treasury, and it's all. I mean, we should not just think that everything will be coming from the corridors of the power. Finally, it will come. But then there may be a social dimension of the growth, social dimension of the increase of demands in the economy, and then supporting the supply system. So what I actually think that we need a kind of social movement in India where certain social involvements may improve the situation very vitally. And it is in this aspect I would like to end my lecture that there is a government dimension, and there is an individual dimension, and then there is a social dimension. If I am having a net worth of income of this and this bracket, why I should monopolize that income? Why not I should finance someone who is a poor to have certain things, and then he becomes very comfortable in terms of economic. For me, it doesn't matter, but for that poor person, maybe 5,000, 4,000 rupees can matter a lot. He can improve his family. And it is under this mission I am doing certain things in my own way. So I will appeal all the people, all the upper class people, if you just reduce buying just one shirt, fashionable shirt or pant, and start saving that money and giving it to the poor people for some service or maybe at a generosity, that poor person can buy his household things, medicines, so many things. So for me, just I am having 50 shirts. If I just buy one shirt and pant, it will be 51, 52nd. But if I save that money, save that extravaganza, and just donate 5,000-6,000 rupees to a needy family in our villages, the entire economy of that family changes. And that is where the economy starts getting the most oxygenated life force. So let us believe one thing, that we should try to spare some money, and individual social responsibility I call ISR, and we should not bureaucratize it, and we should identify a needy person, encourage him to do some work, and they then pay that money. Just a price of useless certain pant, maybe a small portion of our economy. If we all Indians pool so much money and put it at the grassroots to the needy people, it can create a reverse avalanche effect in the economy from bottom of the economy. The wealth will start moving in terms of liquidity to the top, and then there will be an exact momentum of demand supply chain ecosystem, and that can make a lot of difference. This is just one of the thought I wanted to express. Thank you very much.